Hello, welcome to this session or this episode, which is our first episode. Today, we are going to be talking about how to use cloud in HR work. That's what we are going to be focusing on. You can see I'm in cloud. I'm assuming at this stage you already have a paid version or a free version of Claude. And in this version, you have already installed Claude, whether the web version or cloud co-work. That's what is critical. So I'll take you through the major issues that you find in Cloud Chat, then Cloud Code, then also Cloud co-work. These are the three that I have, but the focus as we go forward will be on Cloud co-work, which is the main application that we are going to be using to showcase AI use cases in HR. We are going to focus on really high value stuff, not everything else, routine stuff that people do, but I'll focus on the high value stuff. So let's start with the cloud chat. This you can also find. This part is a desktop application, but you can also find cloud chat on the website, or you can actually access it through a browser, a web browser. But when you download cloud desktop, cloud co desktop, you will find that you can access the three of them in one window, like what we're seeing here. So in cloud chat, you have your normal new chat icon there, where you can come here and type whatever prompt you have. Prompting is very critical, but we will talk about it at some stage in the future episodes. Projects. In projects, we will also cover this in future. This is where you can bring in specific instructions to specific projects that you are working on in HR. And when you click new project there, you see this is how you can then create projects. But I will not cover projects for today. I'm just showing you the major icons that are in Cloud Chat. Then we go to artifacts. Again, I will not cover this, especially in Cloud Chat. I'll cover artifacts to some extent when I get to Cloud Core Work. Customize. Under customize, there are two areas that are critical. You can create skills. Skills are specialized instructions that can be technical, that will help you do certain work. As you can see, this is the kind of skills that I have as a consultant myself, an HR consultant. But again, we'll have an episode specifically focusing on skills. Might also want to look at connectors. These are connectors that you can connect to. You can see all these. You're free to connect to any of these depending on what you want to use. There are also plugins, as we will see as we go through this. So that's basically what you find in Cloud Chat. Then you come to Cloud Cowork. The same task, new task bar that you are seeing there or icon, you can again come here and you put your prompt and you produce whatever you want to produce. Cloud, you start working on it. But I'll highlight some of the things that you need to be aware of. Projects is the same. Remember, I did indicate projects there. But I also highlight that for me, because I was using project already before Cloud Co-work, I do have projects that are already in session, which I can import. You can see if I put it import there, you can see that I've got already projects running. But again, I'll take you through a lot of work in terms of how you can create your own new project. These are specialized instructions, specialized projects that work specifically related to a particular project. Then live artifacts. This is where you can crawl the web and harness live information that you can then show in dashboards. This could be weather. This could be crawling crawling the website or connecting to a particular database. Then you can showcase it live here. I tested this with stock prices, the US stock prices. I actually tested that with in live artifacts. If I had time, I would show you. But when we go to a specific episode to deal with live artifacts, I will then show you that. Dispatch is very good. You can access Dispatch via your phone, which means you can give Cloud instructions while you are home, while you are away from your office. As long as your laptop or your computer is on, the Cloud will be able to do work and then file that work in a folder on your desktop in any file of your preference. That's what you'll find in Dispatch. Very useful But again, we'll have another episode just focusing on that. These are preliminary episodes that we're going to have, so that you've got a very sound grounding on how to use cloud for HR work. That's why we have started with this. Then customize is the same. This is the skill side that we talked about. You can see you can connect to apps, you can create skills, you can browse plugins, for example. These are the plugins that you will find under there. Under these plugins of interest, you can see there is actually a plugin pre-packaged by Anthropic, which is the parent company of Claude, already talking about human resources. You can find, depending on a specific profession, lawyers will also come here. I would suggest activate that. Finance can activate that. Salespeople can activate that. There are very useful plugins that you'll find here. But again, we'll have a specific episode covering the plugins the same way that I talked about the connectors and the skills. So we'll have that as our preliminary stages, because we are starting to build this kind of skill for you to be able to use cloud for work as we go through these episodes. So let's now go to, I'll come back, maybe before I leave the year, an important part under task there. If you come here, you will see that you can actually choose specific folders where you can put your work or where you want cloud to work. So at every time you want to work on something, let's say you're working on recruitment, you can create a recruitment folder and direct Claude to actually specifically go on that particular folder. Like in this case, I had already created something called this one. So I can select this, so which means whenever I work, as you can see here, Claude will be able to produce whatever work I'm working on and deposit it in this particular folder. I can review that work there, come back and do my instructions there. Then also, if you look here, I can actually tell Claude act without asking questions or asking questions. I normally, because I trust it now, I've been using it for a long time, I now just choose act without asking instructions, and it will give you this kind of window where you can just say continue, then it will highlight this at the top. But it's not something very scary, but I've used Cloud, so I would recommend that you activate that. So that's one of the most important parts. Then you come here to code. Code is the same as Cloud Core. The only difference is that it was developed for developers and coders. And you know, because most people get scared if if you say code, but I actually use Cloud Code and Cloud Core interchangeably because they produce exactly the same work. They work exactly the same way. I actually use Cloud Code for HR work, not necessarily programming work sometimes, but I do. But I also use Cloud Code for developing my own applications that I'm developing, as I'll show you in future episodes. So that's basically how it works. You can see customized the same as the skills. You can see the new session, the returns. All these will cover as we go. I also use these. I can actually activate or work in each one of these windows concurrently. The other way you can do is, especially when you're in Cloud Core work, you can actually run several sessions, maybe even 5 sessions running concurrently, and you can always go back to them. You can see here, you can be running these sessions live, a new live artifact, and all these things can be running live at the same time. You can do the same in Cloud Code. You can do the same here. They can be running concurrently. So you can do a lot of work within the shortest possible time. Even if I got 10 tasks to do, I can run them probably within the next hour and finish all of them because they are running concurrently as long as you got the tokens. I'm on the max plan, as you can see there, which means you pay $100 per month for you to be able to use that. But I wouldn't suggest that you start on the max plan. If you are a beginner, maybe you can start using the free plan, then you go to the cheaper plan, which is I think it's $20 for you to use that. So let's just now go and see how it works. We'll start with a cloud chat. I'd already done something for in terms of how to use cloud chat. Here, I've got this very long prompt, but in summary, this prompt, what it does is I want to create a job description for a commercial bank operating in Zimbabwe, for example. But I put so much detail into it so that I don't have to repeat it. So this is already executed. This instruction has already been executed. As you can see, these are the instructions. This is what it goes through for it to get to the stage where it then produces the job description. So the job description has been done. You can download it directly here, or you can you can just view it from here. Where you click that, it will open this this window, the window on your left. Let's hope it will show. If it doesn't, okay, it's showing. So I just want to enlarge that so that you can see. Just give me a minute so that I can enlarge that. So this is the job description, a very good job description. You can see it gives the job title, alternative titles, position, business unit, location, the direct reports. All are indicated. Span of control is indicated. Reports to for governance. It report to the board for governance. For operational, non-applicable because the CEO is the head of the organization. In this case, the bank. Functional engagements, you can see there. Job family, executive leadership, debt last reviewed. You can put them that the reporting relationship in detail now. The purpose of the job, the chief executive officer exists to lead the bank in delivering safe, profitable, and sustainable banking services that creates durable value for shareholders, protect depositors, comply with Banking Act, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe Act, the Money Laundering and Proceeds of Crime Act, and all supported prudential and conduct regulation and contribute meaningfully to the development of Zimbabwean economy. You can see it's a solid job description because of the largely depending on the prompt that I have used. You can see the strategic mandate, prudential soundness, profitable growth, digital and operational transformation. These are all things that you can see the depth of the job description. You can see it here. The key results areas, it's listing there, and also the explanation that are there. You can see detailed key responsibilities now by key results area. Financial performance and shareholder value. These are the key duties that the person is involved in. You can see the depth, the quality is unparalleled. You can't find this kind of quality from ordinary generic prompting. So you can basically produce any job description to the right quality depending on the quality of the prompt. But again, in future episodes, I'll talk to you about how to do this prompting, the techniques for prompting to get the best results after using Claude for HR. You can see key performance indicators. It's a detailed one. You can see it's 39 pages. It's actually detailed, but I will not go through every page it's a detailed one. But this will be so good for a board that is trying to hire a CEO, that is trying to make sure that they've got a performance contract for the CEO, that will also try to make sure that the job is graded properly, should that need to be done. So you can see this is so detailed. It's so detailed. A very good job description by any measure. That's what you can do. But obviously, you don't need to go to this length and depth if you are just talking about generic, simple job description. So, sure, that's one. So that's one what you can do just by putting a chart in here. You can even do it and say, create a job description for a driver for a commercial bank. I want a one-page document so that it's not elaborate and too big for you. You can just check the spellings there, then you click continue, okay, or you click enter. So you can see it's already created that. So let's leave it doing that, but I've shown you how to do that. Let's go to Cloud Cowork. Again here, I had already done something in order to save time, but you can just put the same instruction and get exactly what. So I wanted to create an employment contract. This is the prompt that I gave it. You can see here, create an employment contract for the CEO of a bank in Zimbabwe that complies with all applicable laws. It must be detailed, but not too legalistic. Do not brand the contract because I didn't want to put my own branding on the contract because it's a generic the contract that I wanted to show as a sample. So if I come here, so I'll create a comprehensive CEO employment contract that complies with Zimbabwean banking and labor law. Let me build it as a clean and branded Word document. That's the only instruction, the only conversation that we had. So the contract is ready. You click there. I also want to enlarge here so that you can see. You can see the contract, very good contract, probably much better than some of the lawyers can produce. So you can see recitals, appointment and regulatory approval. For example, most of the executives in Zimbabwe, for example, you need to be approved by the Reserve Bank before appointment. It's clearly covered. The bank hereby appoint the executive to the position of chief executive officer of the bank, and the executive accepts the appointment on terms and conditions set out in the contract. The appointment is conditional upon and shall not take effect until the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe has issued a written confirmation that it has no objection to the objective, to the executive holding the office of chief executive in terms of the Banking Act. So you can see all the things are covered: reporting, duties and responsibilities in detail, the place of work, remuneration. You can just come here and put your remuneration in there. So under remuneration, you can see this is where you put the amount payable in equal amounts in installments, all the allowances, annual bonus, long-term incentives, pension, medical aid, insurance, all of them complying with the Zimbabwean laws, including leave. You put your leave there, all of them complying with the Zimbabwean laws. Performance, confidentiality, conflict of interest, fit and proper disclosure, and anti-money laundering, very critical, especially for a banking CEO. Intellectual property, given the advances in AI technology and how fast people are producing new products. Restrictive covenants, all that is covered. You can see termination, termination on notice, and all the other terminations. All the types of terminations are included. Then termination on the basis of misconduct, termination on medical grounds, everything is covered. But obviously, you need to make sure that you customize this. When you download it, you can customize it. When you download, you come here and you download the contract. Simple as that. Then you can edit the contract. So we're done there. We can go to a clean sheet there. Then go to Cloud Code. Under Cloud Code, I also gave it, and it's a very simple instruction to build an interactive dashboard, obviously using dummy data. So this is where I started. This is the instruction, the prompt that I gave it. Using dummy data from a large commercial bank, create a live interactive dashboard that displays employee data with the insights and amazing visualization. I always love to use that word, amazing visualizations. Every component of the dashboard must be interactive. So this is the work that it went through for it to be able to come to the results. But you can also see when I started, I actually chose a particular folder, although it's not showing here. Let me see whether it's showing here the folder that's where it is deposited. It's not showing here, but let's go to the folder on my. It's here. This is the dashboard. Was it deposited there? The dashboard. So you can see this is the dashboard that it created. A very so in terms of reporting in HR, you can't blame anyone for producing short stuff, because with technology now, with Claude, you can actually produce amazing graphs. So you can see these are the headcount by department. You can see all the other key metrics is there: total employees, total payroll, average salary, average tenure, average performance, in the employee engagement levels, a percentage of staff who are female, almost 50%, higher attrition rate, you can see 7.7, promotion eligible, you can see the education levels. Look here, this is amazing. Look at this. Then you come here, look at the female, the distribution of employees. You can go down, age distribution at a glance, one time. You don't necessarily have to attach anything. It's almost seamless the way you can produce this. Then salary by grade, you can see the salaries by grade. Okay, you can so you can also see performance. You can see hiring and attrition trends here. Engagement radar, this is how it's doing. Headcount by branch, you can see them there. Then performance versus engagement, you can see there. Attrition risks, okay, this is actually an algorithm that is predicting the level of risk. You can see here, attrition risk probably very high in retail banking, followed by operations. Look at the beauty of that. Your top performers are also there. A live active feed. We can see George Peary received the performance review. These are live feeds coming from the dashboard. You can come here, employee register. You can see this is the full employee register. But you can also, because it's interactive, you can see all branches there. You can see all department there. You can choose any department that you want. For example, if you go human resources, but we want all, you can come to branches and choose avatar. But remember, we want all. You can come to gender and choose female only, and just look at the trend around the gender issues. But we want all of them. Grades, you can do the same. You can choose A1. You can choose C2. This is the Patterson grade. You can choose that. You can choose maybe D1. You can see what is happening there. But we want all of them. Then you come to performance. You can actually choose your all exceeds, your unsatisfactory. You can see by retail bank with IT having the highest, but you want all. So you look at the quality that you are getting there. So that's what you can do there. Then we come back, and so you can basically repeat this instruction. If you want to start new here and there, again, remember the folder that I created. This is the folder that you can work in. You can create any folder, just like Cloud Code. You can create any folder. So as we get to the end, let me just get back to Cloud Chat and see if it has produced the job description. We wanted the job description for a driver. Let's see if it has produced a job description for a driver. Let's just give it a few minutes. I'm sure we should be able to get what it's doing there. You can see what it's doing there. Very easy to see what it's doing there, what it has done, and everything. That's a very short job description for a driver. You can also download that. That's basically what you can do, and that's what I've showcased in this particular episode. You can do a lot, but as we go into the other episodes, we will then go specific by specialty. We are still in the early stages where I show you, for example, how to create skills, how to use artifacts, how to create projects, and all these things that are listed here. How to use dispatch, live artifacts, scheduled work, projects, customize, plugins, and all those things. I will be showing you each one of these will have its own episode. Thereafter, we now go into detail about how to apply or to use cloud for recruitment, and we pick the key aspects in recruitment, create various episodes. We go to performance management. We go to training and development, where we focus, for example, on how do you do training needs analysis and all those things. Then how do you develop AI-powered applications in HR? So that's what we are going to be doing as we go into the next episodes. Thank you.